will Britain and why would Britain contribute to this war? It's my opinion, and I strongly believe in it, that Britain will only go in it because they want to shift the attention from Brexit. And while I was waiting for the phone call, I also heard Jeremy Corbyn say that, they shouldn't go to war. And I do agree with him, with whatever he said, exactly what he said. I do agree with him as well.
Do you really believe that a British Prime Minister called Theresa May would risk the lives of British armed services personnel to deflect attention from Brexit? Do you seriously believe that?
Look, Iain, it's happened before. Tony Blair has done it with Iraq.
What was he trying to deflect attention away from?
He wasn't trying to deflect any attention, but he was very friendly with America or whatever it was, and it's always the game of selling their arms and things, and I feel, it's always one side of the world that's suffering. I know things are happening. Okay, whatever we find out from the media, we have to believe it because we don't know any better. I mean, we have to just switch channels and see who is saying what.
Well, you don't have to believe anything, but all I'm asking you to consider is that does Theresa May strike you as the type of person who would do something like that?
She doesn't, but she probably has no choice.
Well, who's pulling her strings then?
Well,
well, come on! You've made actually the most serious allegation that you can make against a British Prime Minister, and yet you can't back it up.
No, the thing is, people want to sell their arms. They're happy, people fighting because they want to make their money. I mean, why would suddenly Trump was so much together with the Russian Prime Minister, apparently, or Russian President, whoever he is, when he had the election, he was accused of, letting him meddle into the elections and all that. And suddenly now he's against him, and they've all come together on one side. Well, it depends on
the day of the week, really, doesn't it, with Donald Trump? But Shanaz, you sound like a lovely lady, and I'm glad you do, because if you hadn't done, I would have probably really gone for your throat there, because I do think it's an outrageous thing to say that a British Prime Minister, doesn't matter whether it's Theresa May or anybody else, would deliberately put armed services personnel's lives at risk just because they want to deflect from a domestic political problem like Brexit. It's an outrageous suggestion, and if you can't back it up, you shouldn't make it.